Okay, let's see. Okay, looks like we're live. So hello and welcome to Component Rescue Board Repair. Today I have a whole stack of computers to do, so I don't know how many of those I'm going to get through. But we're going to be starting off with a 2010 15-inch MacBook Pro. Board number is 820-2850. And the issue with this computer is that it's not powering on, and whenever I plug in the charger, there is no light on it, no green or orange light. So I've already taken this board out of the computer, and as you can see right here, this is the charging circuit, the ISL 6259, and there is quite a bit of corrosion all around it, and that can definitely keep there from being a light on the charger, since right next to it, this is the PP342 circuit, and that's going to be what powers the SMC along with a lot of other stuff, including the charging chip. And if this circuit isn't working, you also won't get a light on the charger. However, this looks fine and this does not. So we're going to go ahead and swap this out and see if we get any difference. If we don't, then I can turn it over and take a look at the SMC and see if we have any damage around there. And the other thing is for some reason I cannot find any of this board in my stash, so I'm going to have to steal parts from other boards. So this repair may take a little bit longer than normal. Let's get my hot air turned on and my fan. I'll go ahead and throw some flux on there, and we'll get this pulled off and replaced with the new one. And I'll probably pull that resistor off next to it too, because it's looking pretty bad. But we'll see. Okay, what I do with my previous oil. This goes upside down. Okay. There we go. We got that off. Now I'll go ahead and clean that area up. And actually, I'm going to check on here to see what that resistor is for. Okay, that resistor is probably fine. If it's not, I can take it off in a second and slap another one on there. Let's grab our soldering iron and clean that up. grab a new charging chip. And I'll add a bit more flux. Okay, got the new chip. So I'll go ahead and set it on there. I'll grab the hot air. Okay, got the chip on there. Now it's crooked, so we'll get it soldered straight. And sorry about the frame rate for my microscope cam. I'm not sure quite why it's so low. Just a little bit. I did get a new computer recently, so that might have something to do with it. I might need to like update the drivers or something. But I'll try and get that worked out soon. There we go. Straight. And we'll press down. Beautiful. Okay, now I'll go ahead and clean up all the extra solder from around the edges. After adding some more flux, of course. Wonderful. And that all looks good to me. So, I guess I might go ahead and see if we got ourselves a working computer now. Probably not, considering the amount of liquid damage that was on this, but that may have fixed it. Put this in front of the fan to cool it off for a second. And I'll go ahead and turn my water on. So before I plug this in, I'm going to take a look at the back side of the board and see if there's anything else that has liquid damage on it, especially like around the SMC, that could be keeping this from turning on. The SMC is going to be right here, and now it's pretty clean. There's a little bit of corrosion up there, but that probably won't keep it from turning on. Bridge. Yes, on this model, the 2010 15-inch ones, this isn't going to keep the computer from turning on, but this little capacitor right here, I am going to end up replacing that after I get this board working again, because this is either failing now or probably in the near future will be failing and will be causing the computer to GPU panic. So while I'm at it, I'll just go ahead and get that fixed. But I'm going to wait until I get the computer booted up first before I try and solve graphics problems. So now we'll go ahead and plug the computer in and we'll see what we get. And we get a green light. See green light on the charger. You can't see that very well. And we had a fan spin, which means the computer is now turning on. So now that this is turning on, so it looked like I was right in thinking that all we needed to do was replace the charging chip, which on this one is the ISL6259. So now what I'm going to do is I need to find my replacement capacitors. I think they're over here. Yeah, here we go. Is this them? Yeah. See, I just have tons of capacitors in part picker tape like this. And let me show it under the microscope next to this. So that's the original capacitor on the board, and that you can't see it too well on tape, but that's the new one I'm putting on, which you can notice is significantly larger. However, I got ones that have the 3 prongs on the bottom, so we don't have to scrape away anything from the board. We can just directly solder it onto it. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and pull the heat sink off because this is right next to the CPU and I don't want to kill the CPU. I'll give you some more hints as I'm doing this, but usually I recommend taking the heatsink off, otherwise you could spread too much heat to the CPU and GPU and kill them. And you just have to be very careful where you aim the heat. So we'll get this pulled off. And of course I'll also want to replace the thermal paste on this too, since it probably has never been replaced. However, I'm not going to do that just yet because I'm going to have to run this board through the ultrasonic cleaner. Wow, that was really stuck on me. Oh boy, actually no, this has been replaced before. And someone used way too much. See, look at this heatsink. Oh, hey, there we go. We got the frame rate back up. See how there's that shit all over it? I don't know if you can see on the CPU. I don't think I can zoom out far enough. Let's see if I can get this in focus. See how the thermal paste is all over these caps next to it? That means you used way too much. So whoever repasted this CPU and GPU used way too much thermal paste. But that's okay because we're going to clean it off and redo it um, after I run it through the ultrasonic cleaner. Those right now do need this. Okay. Okay. So like I said, that's the cap right there, and the CPU is right there. So while you're doing this, you want to aim the hot air away from the CPU, because if you don't, you'll torch it and it'll kill it. So I'm going to add a little bit of flux to help me pull this off. Just a little bit. I'll add some more whenever I'm putting that on. And I'll go ahead and get the hot air in. hold it a little bit away just to heat up the board a little bit. And then I'll kind of move the fan right on it. And then you just pull it off just like that. And on some more flux, like so. And I'll grab my soldering iron and I'm going to clean the pads off. Where is my wick? Here it is. Oh, my desk is such a mess right now. There we go. And we'll just whip that on right. Wonderful. Okay. And I'll add a little bit more flux and put some fresh solder on there. Which I could have cleaned those off a little better, but it doesn't matter that much. It is a pretty big component. But you don't want to add too much solder here. Just enough to get it nice and solid on. There we go. And then I'll grab one of the brand new capacitors. And you can't see that. It's going to go on there just right there. Which I think I've done a video over this before. I'm just going to throw it all again just to be sure. And we'll get the heat on. We'll solder on. Just like that. I'll press down. Make sure it's flat on board. Like so. And then this should be good to go. And you got to be a little careful when you're soldering this, because if you have it sticking too far off the edge, then you won't be able to put the fan on. I'm going to kind of clean that up a little bit on the edge, and I won't be able to clean up that edge. But out of the two I can reach, I'll clean those up a bit. I could take that inductor off, but it isn't really necessary. There we go. Maybe I can reach down here. Sometimes I can. I usually can. Maybe it's not under the microscope, so I can. No, I can't reach down there. That's okay. That's not going to affect it that much. So this board now should just need a good ultrasonic cleaning, and then it'll be as good as new. Okay, and I'll get to the next board in just a second. Okay, I'll set this off to the side, and then we'll get started on the next one. I just forgot how to throw all my screws. There's that. Okay, let's see. What should I do next? I think I'll do this 2011 MacBook Pro. Let's see, the next one in the stack was another 2010 with there was GPU panicking, but I just showed you guys how to do that one. So I'll probably do that one off stream. Okay, let's see what we got. This one says no power, and of course it's liquid damage like almost all of these are. Wait, is this one no power? Yeah, this one's the no power one. So give me just a moment to get this taken apart, and then we will get started on it. Baggie screws. See, what I do to keep track of all my screws, I just have these little baggies. I just keep all the screws in them like this. And then I'll usually set it inside the computer while I'm working on it to keep them from getting lost. And then when I'm done, I'll just dump them all out on my desk and then screw them all back in. So that way I don't lose any screws. I know a lot of people do it many different ways, but that's just the way that I do it. And then also if I'm not putting the computer back together immediately, which I usually don't since most of these are liquid damaged and they have to put it through the ultrasonic cleaner. Uh, it's really easy for me to just keep all of the screws in one place until I do reassemble it. We're almost done. Okay. Put all the screws in the baggie. Oh, one other thing I forgot to say is that I know I have just been doing live streams and board repairs, but I'm thinking of in the future making new videos where I record them, edit them, and upload them so you just see the board repair, and I cut out all of the stuff like me taking computers apart and diagnosing stuff that doesn't end up actually being the problem, and cutting them down to like 10 to 15 minutes just so you can see exactly what the problem was and what I did to solve it. And I'll probably be doing that with this video, kind of as a test, since I'm doing so many computers in it. I'll just uh, make one short video for each of the ones I'm doing in here. Okay, so looks like we got some corrosion over here, quite a bit. Actually, let's go ahead and pull up the schematic and board view, which 2936, I'm pretty sure. 2936, there's board view. And I'd like to be able to show you guys the schematic too while I'm working on them today. However, my PDF software does not seem to be working, and my other PDF software does not want to work with OBS, so I can show you guys the board views today, but not the schematics. So I'll just have to kind of explain what I'm looking at. Okay, so here's going to be our board. So the part that is covered in corrosion and is falling off of the board is going to be this little thing right up here, which this I could probably just knock off the board right now. Well, maybe not. There's still a few pins holding it on. And this thing right here are completely burned off the board, which I'm pretty sure that goes with this too. Yeah. So PVButts S5HS Computing is actually going to be the power rail that powers the CPU. That's going to be what powers the the CPU power circuit. And on other computers, that'll also power like the PCH power circuit and all that other fun stuff too. So if that rail is burned out, or it thinks it's drawing an it thinks it's drawing a ton of power because this is burned out, then the computer will not turn on. Which also right here on this, that's looking pretty bad right there. I'll probably have to put a new LCD connector on this too. But those have not come in the mail yet. The rest of these probe points look pretty corroded, but they're probably fine. Our backlight driver right here will probably have to be replaced now. Which, this ball right here, of course, the one that's corroded the most. Oh wait, I forgot to switch you guys back over. Okay. So yeah, so these two components up here that are flaking off of the board are going to be the ones that are for PBus S5 HS computing. This right here is going to be our backlight driver. It's pretty corroded too. I don't know if you can see, but this ball right here on the bottom right is going to be the one that outputs the backlight, which it's pretty burned up. Our fuse, our backlight fuse, of course, has seen much better days. In fact, it just flaked right off the board. So that's definitely going to need to be replaced. I'll probably end up having to replace like the entire backlight circuit over here, or maybe just this. But to start out, actually all this Thunderbolt stuff looks pretty good, which is usually fairly corroded. So that's a good sign. And what does the other side of the board look like? It looks, it's pretty dirty, but I don't see any corrosion. So I think we may just have to fix that right there. So let's go ahead and grab one of these boards for parts. Oh, come on, they're all the way over here. Let's see if this can reach. I'm gonna have to take my microphone off. Yep. Okay. What about this one? Let's see this one. Let's see what about this one. Okay. Okay, got us a nice donor board now to use. And sorry I keep looking down over here, I'm checking the weather because we might be getting some severe storms in soon here. So let's get this back in focus. I'll add some flux there. Turn on our hot air. And I'm going to want to move this microphone, otherwise it's going to get burned up. Okay, I've got a microphone and DCM board off, so I don't burn those. And I'll go ahead and do this whole area as we go. And let's go ahead and pull these parts off. That might be on some of this. I'm going to go ahead and move it on. Chip right there. And then pull that on. Oh boy, this is just breaking down. Come on. Why is this not coming on? There we go. Okay. Yeah, those two pins right there are looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and start cleaning this up. Where's my solder? Here we go. Oh, you guys can't see that. And then we'll get that cleaned off. Some alcohol, a Q-tip, and I'm probably going to have to move wires for this. That's looking pretty burned up right there. Luckily though, I don't have to worry about it right next to it. Oh, look at how dirty that is. Look at that Q-tip. It's black. It's black. Okay, yeah, those two pads are definitely gone right there. Let's go ahead and clean all of this up. Using a nice brush back. That's beautiful. And I'll clean that up a little bit more. Okay, now that's looking all nice and pretty. I can go ahead and put the new parts on there. Are they keys there? I don't think they are. I think it's completely fine. Okay. Zoom in. No, there's no heads there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some fresh solder to here so we can solder onto it. Zoom back out. Okay, now we'll pull our replacement parts off of the donor board and stick them in here. I'll be honest, that resistor definitely does not look good, but it looks good enough to use. So, now we got that on there. Now for the fun part of running the jumper wires. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around so it's a little easier for me to see. Orient it like this. Let's cut some wire off, tone the wire. Sorry if you guys can't see this very well. Maybe they're a little better. So basically, I'm running wires through this. I've got to curve them a little bit. Okay, there we go. There's one. Actually, I'll add some flux and get that off really properly in the place. Alright, call that one good. Okay, added a little bit of extra wire in there, but that's okay because I have another one I have to run right next to it, and that's going to make my life a little bit easier by having that little bit of extra wire. Okay. See a little bit of solder on that egg. And I'll grab these, hold it in place. And I'll solder that onto the resistor. I got this one. Okay. Okay, there we go. Got both wires attached now. I'll break this off. Oh, come on, that didn't break clearly. I'll go ahead and turn the hot air off since I don't think I'm going to need that at this second. There we go. And I'll zoom in to double check that out. Yeah, looks good. That could definitely look a lot better, but it's all fine. The backlight circuit looks significantly better now. I am going to go ahead and check to see if it is shorted ground. One on that, and that's not shorted, and that's not shorted. This one, yeah, that's just like an right now. 75 ohms. That seems pretty low to me. Let's check on a no good board. Yeah, something's shorted on the backlight circuit, but that's okay because we don't have anything hooked up to it right now. So, now what we're going to do, we'll put the MagSafe max back on it and plug it in and see if we at least get power. Where is my cable? Here we go. So let's see here. I'll stick this right here on the fan and we'll see if we get anything. Which I'm not sure if you remember, but beforehand this was giving us a green light, but it was not powering up. So let's see what we get now. We get a green light, and we get a fan spin. Hey, so that means we're getting this to power on now. So the next thing we'll have to do is work on the backlight circuit to get that working again, which is going to involve replacing the LCD connector that I do not have in stock right now. They are currently in the mail, so hopefully I'll have them soon. So this one we'll call fixed for now, at least until I get the new parts in for that, and we can finish diagnosing a no backlight. Which, I mean, if I don't think I need to show you guys that it's no backlight. You just trust me on it. There's so much corrosion on everything. The pins are missing from the LCD connector, and there's only about 75 ohms to ground, which should be about 1 million on a good board, which means that something is shorted. What? I have no idea. Okay, so that one will be finished up at a later. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see. What else do we want? This one also says no backlight. Is this going to require a connector replacement? Because if so, I can't do this right now. I don't know. Let's look at this backlight. Or let's look at the connector underneath the microscope. It looks a little corroded, but I don't know if it's going to actually need to be replaced. Zoom out. I don't know, we might be able to salvage this one. This one, of course, looks like it has the exact same parts on it. they're corroded. I'm going to take a random guess unless the backlight's shorted to ground. In fact, without even taking this out of the computer, that's not in focus for you guys. You know what? That's okay. Here. There we go, right there. Okay, you know what? Without even taking this out of the computer, I'm going to see if our backlight is shorted. That's going to be these pins right here. And we have about 8,000 ohms, which should be high enough, which means probably something's blowing because of my backlight fuse. Two million ohms. So yes. Wow, this one should be pretty easy. This is probably just a backlight fuse. So I'll unplug that. Well, I'm going to have to do a corrosion removal on this, so I'll take it out of the computer. I'll go ahead and take it out. Ooh, that keyboard connector does not work very nice. Okay, and T6. Take it out. And the baggie. And like I said, this one should be pretty easy. It's probably just going to need a backlight fuse and a corrosion remover. Usually on these, when they just need a backlight fuse, the water or whatever was spilled on it got right there on the backlight circuit and just momentarily shorted it out. And then when it dried up, it went away. there's quite a bit of corrosion on the other side of this board too. But obviously none of that's keeping it from turning on. I'll show you guys in a second that this board does indeed turn on. It's kind of hard for me to show you no backlight though, uh, because I don't really have a good way. I can show you though when the backlight works by hooking a test screen up to it. Do I have a test screen over here? No, I don't. I can grab one though. So, I'll grab this, and you can see that the fan will come on, and you can just trust me that we'll have a light on the charger too. See, there we go, we got the fan spin. Okay. Once again, I'll pull the little microphone out of the way so we don't burn it. I'll pull the magazine off. And we are going to be working right there. And then we'll pull off this dead connector. I'm going to flip this around. There we go. Alright. I'll kind of scrape away some of this crap. Okay. Now we'll go in here. And we'll just do a little part for it. Okay. And we'll turn that off a little bit. And throw a new one on. And actually, before I throw a new one on though, I will double check and make sure that it's not shorted down. I don't want to be unnecessarily just blowing backlight caps or backlight fuses. So we got the ground right there, and either side shorted. Going at 40 kilo ohms. $39 million ohms. Okay, so that should be good to go. We'll grab our same parts board we were using just a second ago. and I will pull the little backlight thing off, and then we'll use it on here. Where is it? Here it is. Beautiful. Wonderful. Now it's kind of out of focus for you guys. There we go. Okay, see, I'm gonna add a little bit more flux and get that nice and solid in place. Just to be sure. Okay, that popped into place. What's the other side of this? A little nasty, definitely look better, but it turns on, so it should be fun. And now we should also have a backlight on the screen too. Even better. I'll get this off, and I'll just throw it back into the computer and see if we get a backlight. That's probably the easiest way. Okay. I'm not going to reassemble this whole thing, just kind of get it in here so I can test it out real quick. Ooh, this is going to move the screen. Yeah, I can't use this original screen. I'm probably going to have to replace the LCD connector on this one too, especially since that's looking like that. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. On the screen cable, let's give it a little focus. I'm not sure if you can see. Maybe if I put it like right there, you can see more. Yeah, that's all burned up. That's no good. So that means I am going to have to replace this connector, which once again, I do not have in stock right now. So we'll have to come back to this one in a little bit, once I get those in the mail. So like I said, I still have the 2010 one with the capacitor replacement to do. Give me just a second. Let me see what other ones I got lying around. I got a whole ton of these stuff. Well, actually, looks like I just have one more to do for now. Okay, let's see. I have not checked this one out at all before. This one is going to be liquid damage. And the LCD connector looks pretty destroyed. Pretty typical. Okay, so once again, this is very likely just going to be in a backlight. There's some corrosion around the SMC, so we might have enough power, but I'm going to have to wait once again until I can get those connectors. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put my mic back on, so it might be. Here's a liquid damaged 2011 MacBook Pro. This one actually does have a good LCD connector. However, it is missing a fan. See, no fan. So let's grab a fan. Okay. Okay, we got a nice fan in there now. Let's put my mic back on. And we will plug this in and see what happens. Like I said, I have not taken a look at this one before previously at all. I don't know what it's going to do, if anything. And it looks like this one is going to give us no light on the charger. You can barely not see it. There we go. Now I'm going to turn the light on. See, we got no light on the charger and no fan spin. So, let's go ahead and pull this board out and see if we can figure out what's causing that. My guess is going to be liquid damage on it, which honestly doesn't look too bad on this board, but you never know the other side. Could look awful or it could be burned out. Oh wait, actually, I think I may see exactly what's wrong with it. But I don't think that has anything to do with there not being on the charger. But I can definitely see something wrong with it. But I might just be a little delusional. We'll see in just a second. Once I get this out of the case. And this is probably going to be my last board for today. Well, we're only at an hour 17 minutes. I thought this was going to be a much longer live stream. But that's okay. So, grab a bag. Okay. And let's pull this board out and take a look at it. It is really stuck in here. Come on. There we go. And that's how you know this is going to be really liquid damage. Usually if it's stuck inside the computer, it has quite a bit of liquid damage on it. Or sometimes you see some stickers right here on the heat sink will get stuck from the liquid damage. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So our SMC does have some corrosion by it, so that could be our issue. The thing that I saw was this right up here. No, it actually looks like it just has a bunch of crap around it. It looked to me like it was blown out, but maybe it just had a bunch of crap around it. Okay, so first thing I'll look at is our charging circuit over here. That looks nice and pretty. And this, what does the top of this look like? Pretty dirty, but not really that much liquid. Nope. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do now that it's out of the computer is I'm going to plug it in again and see if it turns on, because sometimes you just have to take these out of the computer and then they'll turn on. And we still got nothing. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, because this DCN board looks like a piece of crap, is swap it out for a known good one. That's about I think up here somewhere. I just had it earlier. What did I do? No, maybe it's over here. No, that's not it. Here it is. Okay, we'll stick our known good DC mag on there. Wow, that looks like crap. But I know it works because this was on the board I fixed earlier. So I'll try this out, see if anything happens. Still nothing, so it's not the DC mag. It's going to be a problem with the board. So we'll put that back over here, put the original one back. So I'm thinking likely our issue is going to have something to do with this liquid damage by the SMC. I can see some down here on the board, but I don't think that's going to be affecting getting no light on the charger. So first thing I'm going to do is, I already have this pulled up. Let's see what there is corrosion on. So there's corrosion on this SMC adapter enabled. Well, that's definitely something that could be preventing the board from working. So yeah. And what is that? That's a pull down resistor. SMC adapter enable. Looks like it talks to the SMC. There's also a battery indicator light button. I'll pull up for that. What else is there? Corrosion. There's corrosion over this, which is a no stuff component that connects to probably another no stuff component. And what else do we got corrosion over here? Kind of just all around. Well, we also got some on the BIOS, which could once again be keeping us from working. So, first thing I want to do is see if we have PP3V42, because that's the thing that's going to turn the SMC on. And we can find that at this little inductor down here. I'm going to flip the board around. So that's going to be right there. So we'll grab our charger and we'll stick it on here. And what do we get? Voltage. There, and on ground, we get 3.43 volts. So that's close enough. So the next thing I want to measure is I want to see if the SMC is actually turning on. And I can do that by checking PPBus G3 hot. So I'm going to check it on this fuse down here and see what it's measuring. So we're getting 12.25 volts, which of course means the SMC is not turning on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try cleaning up this area right over here by the SMC and see if we can get it to work again. That's going to be right there. Let's see. Actually, let's take a look. Let's see what else has corrosion on it. So we got those two big caps right there. Those are for PPBus S5HS computing. I went over that earlier in the stream, but that is for powering the CPU. But this area up here, which, ooh, well, our SMC is not turning on right now, so that's not too important. But that is going to be the chip that speaks between the SMC and the power adapter. But since our SMC is not turning on, then there's no point in checking that. So I'm thinking that we might just need to replace that lower resistor right there. Which I'm going to go grab another board to steal that resistor off of. And we'll also just give the SMC a general little refill, just to make it be all happy again. While we're at it. Okay. Let's try and get this a little more focused for you guys. I really need it in focus for me though, because I need to be able to see the exact thing. I don't know, that resistor actually looks pretty good. I think I might just go for the refill. Okay. I'm going to clean that area up a little bit because it looks kind of disgusting. But this one may be pretty straightforward. There's a little bit of corrosion underneath the SMC. I thought it might be best to go ahead and just draw it. I'm going to turn this around to get down. Just scrapey away. That corrosion. Scrapey. So that actually looks pretty good. I just need to do some scrapey on this corrosion. This one might just be a good ultrasonic cleaning and then it'll work again. Or it might work now that we gave the SMC a good little refill. But I don't actually see any parts that would really need to be replaced there, except maybe the SMC if it got zapped. Okay, so that's cooled off now. So put this over the fan so you guys can see if we get a fan spin. And we get a light. However, we get no fan spin. So we're making progress. So that fixed part of our problem. And of course I'll show you guys here. See, we got a green light on the charger now. So that means part of our issue is now fixed. That means our SMC is turning on and working properly. So now what I need to see is if we are getting PP super hot, which we should be, at 12.56 volts. So that means, let's go ahead and look at all the places that have liquid damage again and see which of those could keep us from turning on. This right up here might. I can just go ahead. Let's see if this actually needs to be replaced or if it's just crap on top of it. Well, that actually still looks pretty decent. It could be our BIOS. It could also be that resistor up there. Now, what is that resistor for? I actually cannot remember off the top of my head. That is for INS-HS other. So that's going to be the power rail that powers all the things like PP5VS5, PP3V3S3, and all that kind of stuff. And it looks like that is the sensing resistor for it to see how much power it's using. Now, if that's bad, that could possibly keep the computer from turning on. However, I'm also looking at this BIOS area next to it too. It looks pretty awful. And also there is some corroded stuff on the other side of the board too. So it could be any number of things keeping this from working. Let's see. Is this still any good? Or is it just going to chip right off? No. Still seems like it's not just going to chip off. However, the capacitor right there isn't looking too hot. Is this little pump up here shorter? No. Is this shorter? No. Okay, good. That's good. Oh, there's just a bunch of stuff on this board that just looks like crap. Other side. Actually, no, this one, the other side of it looks pretty fine. Let's try plugging it in again and just see what exactly we did. I may not have got a good read on this. Let's see. You know what? I think I will go ahead and check to see if PP3V3S3 is present. Because if that is present, then that means that likely our SMC is not dead. Which of course is a good thing. Where's this one? Right next to... I can find it right there. Yeah. Okay. So measure this. Right there. And it's going to be 0 volts. Which means, if I had to take a guess, we're missing PM Sleep S5L, which if that's missing, we probably have a dead SMC. But I can always try reflowing it again. Oh, no, over here, right next to the SMC. I mean, I can try. I might not have got a very good SMC reflow the first time. I mean, I can try it again, just see what happens. Otherwise, I'm probably going to have to replace it. it's probably not good. But I can always, if it's going to come to that, I can just run this through the ultrasonic cleaner and see if maybe that'll be good enough to fix it. I sure hope so. I don't like replacing SMCs, especially on these older ones where a lot of the time it really just gets empty the effort. Okay, that's about flux on. Okay, there we go. Maybe that got it good. Sometimes these are a little harder to reflow than when you reball it yourself, because they have. Not only do they have unleaded solder on them, but oops, you can't see my face. Not only do they have unleaded solder on them, but they also don't have quite as much. Does it look better with just the microscope, or with the microscope and me? Nope, it's about the same both ways. Okay. So I'll see if this works. If not, I'm going to call it a day on this board. I'm about ready to take a break. So I'll get this cooled off. We'll plug it in and see if we get power up. If not, we can always try the ultrasonic cleaner. If that still doesn't work, then we can try replacing the SMC, which is pretty common on these 2011s considering. Actually, I don't even know if I have any good SMCs for these. A lot of my boards look like this because I've already pulled the SMC off of them because they die a lot when they get liquid damage. I don't know why. It's only the 2011s. The 2012s don't do it. The 2009s and the 2010s don't do it. It's only the 2011 boards that the SMC dies on all the time. It's kind of strange. Okay, a little light, but we still get no fan speed. Compact, do nothing. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Like I said, I probably will go back and edit this to give you guys some shorter videos on how to fix each individual computer. So I hope you guys learned something and have a great day.